Okay, so I'm just going to do an introduction. I'm Kate Watson. I'm a principal consultant at Turner & Townsend, and I'm here today representing the Social Housing Retrofit Accelerator, which we are delivering in partnership with the Department for Energy Security and Net Zero, supporting their SHDF programme in particular. We're also working with local authorities with the home upgrade scheme as well. So generally supporting organisations to help retrofit properties across the country. So we are starting a new programme next week. Hopefully some of you may have signed up. And this is a Strategy Essentials programme. It's a little bit like our Retrofit Essentials programme, but obviously for developing a strategy for being able to deliver a retrofit programme. So very quickly, as it is just an introduction, we are going to look at what our Strategy Essentials course is like, who the course is for, what we will cover, and then we're going to have a look at the dates that it would take place, and then we'll have some time for FAQs and look at other sources of information that we have on our website. So as I've already mentioned, it's a new course. So new content completely for this programme. We are in the process of obtaining CPD accreditation for the course. We're anticipating that before the course starts next week, although it could possibly take a bit longer. So if you do come to all 6 presentations and we have the CPD, you will receive the CPT certificate afterwards. But as I said, we haven't got that at the moment, so it is in process. So the point of our programme is to help you understand as an organisation how you might go about putting in place a retrofit strategy. So through our experience of running retrofit programmes at local authorities and at housing providers, we've had a lot of experience with this ourselves, and we've gone through a lot of different approaches. We also know from helping grant recipients, bidders, that this can be a really difficult thing for you to do in the bidding process. So the point of the course is really to help you understand how you can get your strategy in place, which should enable you to identify properties that you would like to bring forward for another round of the SHDF whenever another round is announced. We do anticipate there will be future rounds because there was a 10-year programme announced, so we anticipate there will be more funding at some stage in the future. But it will really help you understand how you can put something in place, what that looks like for a year-on-year capital spend to achieve your outcomes. And with development, you can also move forward and start looking at how you can integrate maintenance, planned maintenance programs into your retrofit strategy so that you can do some of that saving money, getting value for money, making sure you're delivering the best project you possibly can. So the course will be delivered on Microsoft Teams. So it's for the first round starts in September, and you do need to sign up for all of the sessions in order to be able to attend. So we're not signing up for one and then we will send you a link. You need to sign up on Eventbrite for all of those. So the next one. So the course is aimed primarily at housing providers that need support in this particular area, particularly if you have wanted to apply for SHDF funding and haven't been in a position to do so because you haven't understood your housing stock well enough to put something together in time, or because you really need to make the business case and this will help you make the business case. Or if you haven't been successful and you think one of the reasons you haven't been successful is because you didn't really have a very good project proposal in place, then this should help you hone down what's needed to get a good bid in place for future waves of SHDF. So we're really looking for representatives from asset teams or sustainability teams who will be able to develop the strategy for your retrofit program from housing associations or combined authorities, local authorities, or ALMOs. But you know, if you are a representative of if you're an external consultant or representative of a housing association, it isn't really aimed at you. Likewise, if you are a representative of a supplier company, again, this isn't really the program for you. But if you think it's going to support the work that you do with your housing providers or local authorities, please do speak to them and encourage them to be part of this, because it will help you in that process. So moving on, what we will cover. So the first module will look at why we think you need to develop a retrofit strategy. Then we're going to have a look at where you are now in terms of your retrofit journey. Where do you want to be? So presumably for most people, this will be EPCC by 2030 for your whole housing stock. But you may have further ambitions to go deeper retrofit, net zero, that type of thing in the longer term. Then we'll have a look about how you're going to get there. So the first part will be around retrofit phasing and how you finance that. And then the next section will be about forming a team, looking at stakeholder and resident engagement. And then finally, we'll be looking at how you bring that all together to develop your strategy. So that's essentially a very high level overview of the course content. And then these are our rotations. So the first rotation starts next Friday. So that will be every week on a Friday for 6 weeks. You'll note that we have missed off the last week of October because I think for a lot of people that is half term. If your half term is different, I'm very sorry. We've gone probably on the basis of what we understand is a half term for most people. What we would say is if you're signed up to all 6 courses and you can't make that one because it is half term, we will see if we can get you on to another rotation so you can complete the course if you're unable to make one of those sessions. We then move on in November. We've got 2 rotations. These are intensive. So as you can see, there are 3 sessions a week for 2 weeks. They will be at the same time. But again, we do need you to sign up for all 6 sessions if you want to attend, and if you want to get the CPD once we've got that approved. Again, you can join a later rotation if you can't make one of them. If you're in that November rotation 2 and you can't make one of them, unfortunately, at the moment, we won't be running another round of this past that rotation. So if you're unable to make one of them, I'm really sorry, we won't be able to run another course for the moment. What we may be doing is recording them as a clean copy and putting them on our website, but I'm not sure yet. So they potentially will be the sources there to go back at a future, but it is an interactive process, and I'm sure I would recommend that you come to the presented sessions where we'll go through and you'll benefit from other people's questions and the answers rather than just watching them online. So I think we've got some common FAQs here. So I think we've talked about the rotations and if you can attend. So essentially, yes. If you've attended the SHA Retrofit Essentials, will this course still be relevant for you? Well, yes, it probably will be. I think it would just help you understand retrofit and how it applies to you and how you can set up a program of retrofit to meet your long-term business aims. So I think it's really actually helpful that you'll have done the Retrofit Essentials course. And do you need to attend all 6 modules? The answer is no, you don't. However, I would recommend that you do, because you'll get more out of it if you go to all of them, because obviously there is a follow-on from each week. There will be a test each week. It's a very simple multiple choice, but it will help you understand if you're sort of on the right track with what you've understood from the session that day. And then finally, I do just want to remind you about our webpage, where you can find clean copies on demand of all of the masterclasses that we've run. It will identify any webinars or briefings that we either delivered previously or are coming up in the future. We also have some really interesting podcasts that you might find interesting on the subject matter. and there's links to the Retrofit Essentials courses. So that's a very brief overview of the forthcoming programme, and I'm really happy to take any questions if anybody has any. I'm really happy to take that. Thank you very much.